You were among the
Great
first
to
come on this program and tell us that this, in fact, was a worthy trial, that this was a real case, that this was not politically motivated and could have severe political implications beyond legal implications for Donald Trump. You've got 34 guilty counts now. What do you have to say about this?
Look, I guess I can say I told you so. I was expecting this all along. And after having sat through the summations on Tuesday down at the courthouse, I was convinced that Donald Trump would be convicted. There was no question that, just as the prosecutor said, there were two smoking gun documents, a note that was written by Alan Weisselberg that laid out exactly how Michael Cohen was going to be reimbursed for that hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. And on top of that, the whole argument that they had about Michael Cohen being a liar evaporated when they put on this defense with Bob Costello, who basically showed that, yeah, Michael Cohen was a liar before he began cooperating. He was lying to protect Donald Trump. But afterwards, he was basically telling the truth, as shown by all of the documents that the prosecutor took us through very methodically and chronologically, as well as the other witnesses, including David Pecker and Hope Hicks and others, including Donald Trump's own writings in his books that showed he was a micromanager and that he approved everything that happened in his business and certainly didn't let Michael Cohen lift a finger without first giving his approval. So it's pretty obvious to me where this case was going. It's a serious case. It's some ways a typical white-collar offense of creating false documentation, but it becomes more serious and more compounded by the fact that the whole purpose of this was basically to defraud the American public and the voters in 2016 so that they didn't have all the information that they should have had prior to voting for president that year. So when you look at exactly what was proven here, this is a fairly serious case and a serious conviction.
Well, Nick, we have now gotten reaction from the Biden-Harris campaign, which reads in part in New York today, we saw that no one is above the law. It goes on to say, today's verdict does not change the fact that the American people face a simple reality. There is only one way to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office, at the ballot box. Convicted felon or not, Trump will be the Republican nominee for president. And Nick, he will become so officially just days after his sentencing hearing on July 11th. That's just 4 days before the RNC begins. Do you expect when that sentencing happens that we'll find out that Donald Trump, the Republican nominee or about to be, will actually have to spend time behind bars?
Oh, I think so. I don't see how Judge Merchan can not provide jail time in this situation. I mean, already Michael Cohen, who was the person who carried out this entire scheme for Donald Trump, has already served 3 years in jail. Alan Weisselberg, who was the financial guy for Donald Trump that set up all these phony documents, is now serving 6 months in Rikers Island, or has served actually 3 months and now another 3 months for perjury at this point. I just don't see how the judge cannot give jail time. I think the only question is whether or not on that date he will be remanded as opposed to being let out pending appeal. The argument is going to be that there are no appealable issues here. The jury has decided the facts. There are no unusual legal issues here. And Donald Trump should go directly to jail, not stop go, do not collect $200. He should just go to prison and start serving his term, and will have to make his acceptance speech to the Republican National Convention from Rikers. I mean, that's the way it looks at this point.